The other question I wanted to ask before we really get into the show is I have a task ahead and I'm going to be making a video for the channel here for it. But I wanted to get your opinion and advice first, which is
Okay.
I'm going to be making a change to my cleaning solution for my records. For years now, I've used a homemade solution of approximately 1 part rubbing alcohol to 4 parts distilled water with a couple drops of free unscented dish soap. Typical solution. Lots of people do that. It's
Right.
fine.
Yep. That's your
But
standard.
I have been reading and watching YouTube videos, and that's dangerous, of course, because it led me to order from Amazon some X100 non-ionic surfactant, which is an actual surfactant that is used in record cleaning solution and things like that. And it basically, the idea of a surfactant is it helps the distilled water cleaning mix get into the grooves of the record, because otherwise the natural surface tension of distilled water is such that it'll essentially just float on the surface. So you'll have a nice
Correct.
clean
Yes.
outer record. It'll look nice, but you're not really getting into the grooves of it because it can't really get in there due to surface tension. And a non-ionic surfactant breaks that surface tension to allow it to go in. This has a little sticker on the side: premium quality laboratory and industrial grade cleaning surfactant. And this is the stuff that's basically in TurgiClean. It's like an alternate sort of
And
thing
that's what
like
I
that.
use as Turgiclean in
Okay, so
my.
that's what I wanted to ask is, what do
Yes.
you use and what would you recommend?
Yes. I use the Humming Guru cleaner. So I use the Humming Guru ultrasonic cleaner, and I use just distilled water, if I can talk, and the Turgiclean in it. And then I mix just a gallon. What I do is I take the gallon of the distilled water, I mix the Turgiclean in that, and then or Turgiclean in that, and then that's what I use as my cleaner. And then once that is done, then I just get a new gallon of distilled water and do that. I don't use anything else.
And you
And
just have
then
a
what?
spray bottle that you spray directly on the records, or you're using a solution that's like an ultrasonic something or other?
Yeah, I'm using like the ultrasonic. So yeah, the water goes in, and then the record sits in the water in the ultrasonic cleaner. And then after that is done cleaning, what I'll do is I have another water reservoir for that cleaner. I will just take regular distilled water, and then I will run it through a cycle of just regular distilled water. Because I've heard with the surfactant, you should run it through another cycle without any surfactant in it. I don't know if that really makes a difference or not.
So what I should do essentially probably is have 2 spray bottles. The first one
Mm-hmm.
is for this that I would use for the cleaning, and then before
One
after
with
that
and
is
one
done,
without.
just do a quick distilled water only
Yep.
spritz. Wipe it
Yep.
down with I've got a whole another stack of microfiber cloths, and I recognize that in many ways I'm just smearing dirt around, is what people will say. But it also is true that you can hear a difference, so I know it's making a
Oh, yeah.
difference. But it'll
yeah.
make a
No.
lot more difference once I start adding the surfactant, I think. And they really
Yeah.
are serious that, let's say I'm making, what I'll do is like maybe a quarter cup of rubbing alcohol. And I think for my next solution, I'm even going lower, because I don't think you really need more than maybe 10-15% rubbing alcohol in that solution. I think even 5% is probably fine.
Oh, yeah. You don't need that much.
But I'm going
sure.
between about 15 and 20% with 91% rubbing alcohol at a 1-to-4 ratio. Maybe it gives me about 17%, depending on how much I actually poured into it, that kind of thing.
Right.
And so, but I'm going to go even a little bit less than that. But it's really, let's say I did a quarter cup of rubbing alcohol to 1 cup of distilled water. So you end up with 1 1/4 cups of volume liquid. I really only put like 1 drop of this stuff in.
Yes, correct. Yeah, it does not take a lot. It's very, very concentrated. Yeah, I use for a gallon of the distilled water, I use like maybe 1 or 2 drops, and then I shake it and make sure it's mixed up. And that's what everybody says to do, because it's very, very, very powerful, and it's very diluted. So
How can it be that powerful?
I don't know. I don't understand. I wish I knew like a scientist that could tell me the science behind this, because I'm like, I don't understand how just 1 little drop of this is going to do all this for all this water that I'm using. But okay, cool. I'll believe you.
And you'll believe it when you'll see the difference.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You see and hear the difference, like 100%.
So what I'm going to do for this channel here and for my own science benefit is I've got enough of my existing old style cleaner left that I can do this on one record. So I'm going to take 2 records that are not dirty, because I don't have any dirty records in my collection,
Right.
but haven't been cleaned in a while. And I'm going to look at them with the microscope, raw dirty. I'm going to clean one side of one record with the old solution, let it dry, look at it again under the microscope. I'm going to take that same record with the new formula, give it a second clean essentially, and then I'll do the distilled water spritz, and then put it on again. And we'll see if there is a marked improvement between the first clean and the second clean in terms of the grooves of the record using a USB microscope. Then, because you really don't have a comparison of what it might have been if I had just done a second clean of the original formula, I'm going to take that second record that hasn't been cleaned, I'm going to use only the new solution on it, and so we can compare the first of the old solution to the first of the new solution.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And do a comparison record of see if we can hear a difference, because I'm going to record between sessions using just a method that we're developing for this episode.
Well, yeah. I would like to hear and see the difference in that, and see, especially if you're going to look at it with that USB microphone or microscope, you could actually see the difference, because you're going to be able to physically see it, because that microscope's going to be able to get way down into that groove.
This is going to be nerdy and boring and long.
I think it's going to be exciting.
Just be aware, it's going to be all 3 of those things. So it's probably going to go on like a separate blog channel, which we've kind of, at least I sort of have developed, mostly because I was making some content that I felt like I wanted to make, but I really didn't have a place to put it. So I'm just kind of shuttling it there. But it seems like it might be a fun little thing to do. So we're going to do that here.
Yeah.
Probably after the show's done.
That's super exciting, actually. Yeah.